This is a very special episode because I'm going to talk a lot about how these people's alleged telepathic powers work. The first thing is an actual true fact. If you think about something super hard at a person, you increase the likelihood of them talking about it. Even the FBI do a thing where they say, like, if you're interrogating somebody, think constantly about the information you want them to give you. When I was a kid, my dad used to lie so much. I used to just constantly want truth, and I would just go around fucking being like, I just want truth. And people weirdly just told me things. No logic, no explanation. They just did it. I've never been able to when I was a kid, I didn't understand that. But it was because of how I thought. Yeah. Now, the basal ganglia is your impulse control. And in this church, if you use manganese to damage the basal ganglia, because it damages the basal ganglia, you can limit a person's impulsivity and actually push your control over them. Now we're going to get into pseudoscience, subscience, and what sounds like complete nonsense. Okay, so when I was made church leader, I was told this a long time ago. Imagine a light coming out of your head to meditate, and imagine it like connecting to the universe. Well, Alien Mummy God says, imagine a golden light coming out of your head. When I became the president, like, imagine a golden light coming out of your head. And then get a boner, and imagine that intersecting with the boner. And allegedly, if you're high enough on LSD, and you do a lot of drugs, drugs I don't even know where they came from, but drugs, you can telepathically control people if they let you. They get high on LSD. They imagine you with your gold light. You're imagining the gold light leaving you. They're imagining the gold light coming into their head. You have intersected into their brain. I don't know if anybody wants to try this with somebody. Allegedly, this is how the CIA actually did their dream experiments, where people were sharing dreams. Actual thing actually happened. MK Ultra, MK Naomi. What increases the power of this is tetralead, because tetralead damages the blood-brain barrier. And when the barrier's damaged, or if somebody dies and comes back, the barrier around the brain immediately dies. And then you bring them back, and that barrier's gone. They do a death ceremony when you're president, where they kill you and then bring you back. I don't know if you're actually dead. I did experience it, and I did go places, but I was also high on drugs. I went to hell. I went to heaven. I went to white supremacy heaven. I went to white supremacy hell. I went through a bunch of crazy things I really don't want to think about. Yeah. So, I'm not telling anybody to try this. I'm just explaining how these people's magical powers work. So, using... Now, this was even weirder, because you can... If you know the trick with the tetralead LSD, look, it's got to be tetralead, GABA, LSD, and maybe ketamine. I don't know. I don't know the exact mixture. I couldn't tell you how to mix it. If I had $1 billion, I can figure it out, because the only places these people draw their ingredients for this shit is everything the church owns. I'll give you an example. The aluminum phosphide, it comes from the ranches they own. The ketamine and LSD, the LSD comes from a factory they own. The ketamine comes from a veterinary clinic they own. And that means anything at the veterinary clinic could easily be something they put into the mixture to hypnotize people. You just spray it in their face, it puts you into the suggestive state instantly. Once those people are in the suggestive state, you can suggest things to them. You gotta know hypnotists speak, but with these people, because they have tetralead brains, comes antisocial personality disorder, where they manipulate your subconscious. Your subconscious is basically completely defenseless, and they can just program damn near anything they want into it. False memories, false places, they can make you forget things. They can lie to you. They can hypnotize you to see something as something else. They can hypnotize you to never see somebody. Uh, your brain controls your reality, and it literally alters it accordingly. Yeah. They believe that this is the primal brain. They believe that the unconscious mind is the primal fucking brain. Now, in this church, they go through the trauma, which is this ritual where you get anally raped, and then you get to go meet the anal eaten mummy, which is this giant rotting corpse. It's very terrifying. But yeah, and that traumatizes you, and it splits your personality. Now, when they did these things to me when I was president, I never got the dissociative identity. In fact, you get the dissociative identity, and then they give your other identity a name. And most of the time, 100% of the time, according to the church, the secondary identity is super defensive, completely emotionally stunted, and is like a 1,000,000% like basically the devil. Like, just fucking malicious as shit. And the more trauma you have, the more powerful it is. Who knew? This is how you create the secondary identity. The secondary identity involves some kind of ego hypnosis where you target it, but you also can't hypnotize somebody with dissociative identity disorder, which is very fucking weird. And this is why every member has dissociative identity disorder, in case somebody figures out how to do this tetraled LSD shit, and you can hypnotize them. You can't hypnotize these people with it. Stu said that no member of the Illuminati can be hypnotized either, because they all have dissociative identity disorder. This enables them to do things. Yes, they terrified themselves with their LSD bullshit, and then created a way to avoid their LSD bullshit. Who knew? These are just a few of the things. Some of the things involve you imagining planes, like taking the light from your head and imagining like going to heaven, and then you're in heaven. And these visualizations work great because LSD increases your visual memory. It enables you to visualize things better. And these people drop mountains of LSD. And it also causes single-mindedness, meaning they only hyper-focus on a single fucking thing. This is a glitch in the issue. This is why you catch them doing stupid shit a whole lot. And it also destroys the neurons in your brain, but we're not getting on that subject. But yeah, so these are a couple of the things. Obviously, everything's a psychedelic mix. Everything's a guided acid trip, and everything's some kind of hallucination. You can go 1,000,000 miles away from here in your own mind if you do enough drugs. Yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The Belly Girl was really good at the telepathy thing is weird. And I think it involves you imagining like a light going into somebody's head and then like telling them something. I don't know. It sounds mostly like somebody throwing their voice, honestly. You can alter people's dreams with the hypnosis. Okay, with the hypnosis shit, it gets crazy because you can hypnotize people to do something later at a specific hour, and even if you're bad with time, your body will wake up and do it. The Belly Girl did this to me multiple times in Ackworth, where she hypnotized me to drive somewhere or do something at night. And I came back and I went to school sleepy because I did stuff while I was asleep. So I don't know exactly what that is. According to her, when you're asleep, you're already in the suggestive state to begin with. So if you hypnotize somebody and you're like, oh, at midnight you're going to get up and go somewhere, you can do that with the tetraled LSD hypnosis. You can hypnotize them to give you shit. You can, dude, almost anything you can suggest to them, they'll basically do. When you're reaching like into that far part of the mind, there are things like, I guess even the LSD, because you can get people to do things they normally wouldn't do under normal hypnosis. But there are caveats. There are things people just won't do for fuck all. I have no fucking idea. And I remember the wives were trying to explain to me, there are laws to hypnosis that I'm not going to say they can't be broken, but they certainly can be bent. They can be bent to a point where they look like they're broken. This includes things like murder, if you fuck up somebody's mind enough. One of the wives said that Charles Manson was so good at projecting his will over other people, he literally could alter their realities. Um, and that's apparently a big part of good hypnosis, is projecting your reality onto somebody else. Like, it's what these people refer to as the will to power, but I don't really fucking get it personally. Um, Even when I was president, I was just like, that just sounds like a lot of work. And here's a really weird thing, though. I apparently was a natural at being telepathic and having psychic powers and doing shit. Um, like, I'll tell you this. I wanted to visit Jamaica. Yeah. And when I was in Jamaica, I possessed a guy, but my body felt so unnatural to me, I freaked out and I killed his brother and impaled him on a fence. Now, if that actually happened, then I actually possessed that guy. If it didn't happen, then it was just an LSD trip. I went to India and I was walking around the Ganges. There was a guy that was near a fire inside of a building and you couldn't go near it, and they're telling me it's like the eternal flame or something. And then I saw a rotting corpse in the river, and for some reason I thought it would be a good idea to go have sex with it, so I made that guy go have sex with a corpse in the river. And then I made him try to resuscitate it and bring it back to life. I have no idea why I did that, but I was also high on LSD. So, yeah, and I did stuff like this. Like, I would possess people in random locations and then assault people, and the wives would get really mad because people would call the temple and be like, "Why the fuck did you make me do that?" And I'd be like, what?" And the issue with it is I wasn't really experienced at controlling other people. Like I said, you just lay down, you have a boner, you imagine a light coming from your dick in your head, you send it out there, and then you can possess people anywhere in the world. According to these wives. Like, I don't personally believe this. And any member of the church is going to tell you it's a lie. But first, you got to be able to see the fifth dimensional portal thing that's just constantly out there. Because out there in that location is apparently a portal that enables you to connect with everything out there. And it connects to other parts of the earth, but nobody actually, I guess nobody has anything out there. So you could probably find one of those if you can see it. But you got to try to see it in order to see it, if that makes sense. Yeah. It was pretty crazy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worthy of note. Basically, a lot of this is just heavy metal bullshit. Like, I'm not 100% on all the heavy metal combinations, but different heavy metals allegedly enable you to increase your telepathic waves of your brain, and then the half-life of the heavy metals enable you to increase your magic power, or telepathy, or whatever you call it. The will to power, or whatever the shit. It enables you to will your abilities over people. With that said, once again, the FBI shit definitely does work. You can just imagine somebody telling you something, and sometimes you'll even see people get stressed while you're doing it, as if they're trying to resist it. Once again, manganese, you damage their basal ganglia, they'll definitely tell you whatever they want, because I experienced that, because I have a damaged basal ganglia. And I will definitely just tell people whatever the fuck they want, because my basal ganglia is damaged. There's a whole bunch of other kind of things like this. It's all kind of just a mind meditation thing, you know? Maybe you don't.